mentioned, Browns need to have somebody that kind of threatens the defense horizontally and vertically. Along those lines, we found this kind of interesting. So this is a 40-yard dash for each team's wide receivers weighted by the routes that they run. You want to be more towards the right side than the left. And the Browns are pretty close to the – now, I say that. They're right in front of the Bengals, and you got the 49ers all the way over towards the slower 40 times. But the Browns' production for wide receivers was okay. It wasn't great. And, again, there's just not that threat that you need.
And look, one of the things that's also difficult there is, though, you keep in mind you played with one quarterback for 11 games. Yeah. Then you had another quarterback who came back for 6 games after, so we can do these things, but they maybe don't necessarily tell the story. You tell me your top 2 wide receivers combined for over 2,000 yards. I think that's pretty good. That's one where I say take into fact that they played with a backup quarterback for 11 games and a guy who was struggling to get back to any form whatsoever. I don't think the problem is Amari Cooper. I don't think the problem is Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think the problem is the 7 to 8 guys that are in that room, and we don't really have a solid answer on any of them.
Right.
And that's kind of where the issue is. I think they thought Jakeem Grant could do some things. Obviously, they never got to explore that. Anthony Schwartz, the injuries, obviously the mental struggles, a difficult spot for that young man to be in. Michael Woods. And then there were weeks where it was one wide receiver was up to play special teams. So this one we had to sit down. They played the kid Dalen Baldwin the one week against the Ravens at 2 receptions for 25 yards. Looked like somebody who had a relationship with Deshaun Watson. Then we never really saw him again. This is why I think that the Browns, it's going to be, I don't want to say significant. I'll clarify it by saying significant as in I think they are going to bring in a proven commodity. I think they are going to bring in some type of veteran wide receiver because they just can't be put in this situation again where it's just the 2 of them and just the 2 of them that they have any confidence in. They've put a lot into it here in the kids in the room. It just hasn't worked. And you know what? Sorry, guys, time's up. I mean, we got jobs on the line here, potential, serious, head coach, coordinators, jobs are on the line. We got to make sure we're doing everything we can. And the other thing is we invested $238 million in our quarterback, and we better get the return on that investment.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. They need a veteran to kind of even things out and settle that room down a little.